Hello guys, today we are going to talk about the Model Tenancy Act, where we are going to cover what is Model Tenancy Act, what is it, why do we need it, and what problems it's trying to solve. So let's jump right into it. Model Tenancy Act is approved by the UPA government or the Modi government on June 2nd, 2021. It covers both rural and urban properties, and no individual can rent or let property without a rental agreement according to this act. The act will establish a rent authority which will regulate the renting of premise to protect the interest of landlords and tenants. It will set up a grievance redressal system for expediting any adjudications of rental dispute. It also covers premises lent out for residential, commercial, or educational use, but it excludes industrial premises. As part of this act, a cap will also be placed on the security deposit amount, which is one of the hotly debated topic. If you go into any of the metro cities of India, the rental deposit ranges from 1 month to a year, and this act might bring sort of parity or consistency between the security deposits in different areas, where the government will effectively regulate the rental market overall. Few other capabilities which this provides is it provides a digital platform to be set up for submitting any tenancy agreements or other documents, and this platform would be maintained by government. It would be set up at state and union territory level, and the rent authority will be responsible for checking all the rental agreements which that specific authority covers, or in that region where the authority is set up, and it governs the rules in terms of like if the tenant fails to vacate the property on the termination of its tenancy, the landlord will be authorized to take some actions like double the monthly rent for the first 2 months, and after that he can even increase the rent to 4 times to make sure the landlord and tenant rights are not violated. It also sets some processes in place for exceptional events which occur due to act of God, which are called as force majeure events. These are common clauses in contract which essentially frees both parties from liability in case something happens like war or strike or riot, where these are not effectively caused by either the tenant or the landlord. So in those circumstances, it allows the tenants to postpone vacating the property for 1 month period from the end date of the event as per the provisioning of existing tenancy agreement. One question which you might be thinking is, why do we need MTA? And the benefit of having this Model Tenancy Act is it will make the process of renting efficient for both the tenants as well as the landlord, and it provides a central redressal mechanism to quickly resolve any renting issues. It will standardize renting practices amongst both landlords and tenants with a formal structure and agreement set in place. Landlords will be responsible for maintaining their side of the bargain, which includes any structural repairs which are there in the premise, except the ones which are caused by the tenant, of course, and other things related to well maintenance of the property, including whitewashing of the walls, painting of the doors, windows, plumbing work required in internal or external facing properties, as well as any electrical wiring or maintenance related issues. So landlord will be responsible for maintaining all that, while the tenant will be responsible for keeping the property clean, which includes drain cleaning, switch and socket repairs, kitchen fixtures, replacement of any broken glass panels, in windows, door, maintenance of garden, open spaces, and things like that. Another thing, or another question which comes up frequently is who will actually benefit from MTA? And at least from the government's point of view, they are trying to bring this act to boost the rental economy or the rental business. Currently, there are a lot of properties which are lying vacant and not rented out, mainly because of lack of a proper system in addressing a lot of these issues. So the government is trying to bring this act to bring consistency in the rental market. And it's expected to give a flip to private parties to come into this rental business and start offering renting as a service in both rural and urban areas. Tenants can use this system or can benefit from this act by having a central authority to go to, where they can issue their complaints, get quick resolutions. It will safeguard tenants' rights in case of unforeseen circumstances, like we have seen in terms of COVID. A lot of tenants were struggling with their houses where they had their rental agreements expired and they had to vacate the properties, and it was totally dependent on the landlord whether he would want to let them continue staying in that property with the extended agreement, or they would have to go out and search for the alternate housing. So sort of the government has now also included some clauses where during such unforeseen circumstances, the landlord is forced to sort of extend the rental duration or give some buffer to the tenants due to such acts of God. And landlords will also benefit in this, where they can get help from the central authorities in case the tenants do not follow all the required terms and conditions which are listed as part of the tenancy law. So it's sort of helping both the parties. And next, this might be a question which is in everyone's mind. Does it impact my current tenancy? If I'm living in an apartment, do I need to care about how that will change? So you should not worry about that, at least for now. The MTA does not impact any of the existing tenancies. It will be required for new tenancies, but it's still uncertain how this will get executed, and we are going to talk about that briefly later. So in the end, we just want to talk about, like, is it a good idea what the government has done, how it's benefiting everyone, or is that another government initiatives which does not solve the real customer problems? So at least from what we have seen in the act so far, it looks like it's solving a lot of the pain points which landlords and tenants have, and a lot of the tenants in both landlord disputes have been largely ignored. There is not a central authority. If you go to any of the police station or court, these are probably not the highest severity or impact cases, and they don't get addressed at the right priority. Having a central authority which is specialized in rental business will definitely help in resolving a lot of the rental disputes, and setting up these courts will expedite any rental hearings where you can go and file your dispute cases. So overall, it's a good initiative from the government, but again, it all depends on how it ends up being executed, because like a lot of the things are still kept open-ended so far, where the states are free to choose how they decide to implement this. So we will probably need a strong execution plan from the government to really make it a success and make sure it solves all the problems which it has listed out.